like the abs on that one.
Dang, that is unbelievable.
Where's Justin? Justin?
Stand up some business, I believe.
Dude, I just lost 5 pounds.
All right. Way to go.
There you go. BLT. You wash your hands, man.
Yeah.
Look at the abs on this chick. I was just...
Hey, this guy, look, we are PFT, and you're watching
WGS-TV on YouTube.
only.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFX-TV. I'm the WrestleGamer Double V, Billy Bouger. Yes, I'm back after a pretty much a week's absence here on WGS-TV. I do apologize about that, but we're going to pick it up right here with, of course, right now, before I intro everybody, what you guys are seeing right now is a demo for The Last of Us. I must say, at this point, I am highly intrigued as to the release of this game, the way it plays, and oh yes, I'm going to go on record by saying that I hate clickers. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, be sure you guys really get into this game of The Last of Us, which for some reason, for me, it took an hour for it to load after I downloaded it. Why? I guess people were just hopping on it. But anyway, let me go ahead and intro everybody here. First off, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard exclusively on Spreaker.com/HWR Media and YouTube.com/HWR Show. It's the luminous one, the shining star, Rick Starr. Rick, after all week, how you been?
I think I'm hanging in there, Billy. Thanks for having me.
And we also have our friend, he is an Insta-Gib game show guru from the Big Easy, James. James, how you doing?
I just hope my electricity don't go out for another damn 4 hours.
On that note, we're going to be talking about Friday Night Smackdown for the week of June 7th, 2013, and we open up with MizTV, but special guest Team Hell No and Randy Orton. I guess to kind of play off the fact of everything that happened on Monday Night Raw with Daniel Bryan and the six-man tag. And lo and behold, apparently Kane has just had enough of the nonsense. You know, he's saying that to Daniel Bryan that everybody respects you, but apparently Daniel Bryan still doesn't see it that way. And Kane said, you know what, I've had enough, and storms out the ring. Then Teddy Long, in typical Teddy Long fashion, comes out and says, you know what, Daniel Bryan, look like you got something to prove. So in tonight's main event, you're going to be taking on the Shield in the form of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And since Kane don't want to have nothing to do with you now, the only person I can team you with is Randy Orton. Rick, I gotta go 3.5 out of 5 on this one, but I really can't say nothing bad about it, but nothing special about it either. But what came up next was actually a surprise to me, Rick. A very good one-on-one match, Curtis Axel and Chris Jericho. And what I'm starting, I don't know, Rick, I don't know if you see this the way that I do about Curtis Axel, but lately in his promos, I just see his father in him. You know, his father coming through in those promos as Mr. Perfect. Saying, you know what, he's going to, you know, the promo, you know, prime example of his promo. He said, you know what, I'm going to go in there and just show Chris Jericho what it's like to be perfect. And you know what? I love the direction of it. I love it, Rick.
Over here.
Well, Billy, I'm going to tell you something. I have to disagree with you because he's riding too much on his father's coattails. You know, if he came in as Joe Curtis, it would have been great just there. You know, or Joe, Joe
Hennig?
Joe Hennig, thank you. Joe Hennig, it would have been great. Use his regular name, his birth name. It would have been wonderful. He doesn't use the name, and he stops and he pauses. Perfect. You know, Kurt Hennig made his own legacy, and what he needs to do, he needs to create his own legacy. He's using his father's legacy, and it's wrong. You know, Randy Orton really didn't use his father's legacy. We didn't see The Rock use really much of his family's legacy. He used it a little bit. He drew off
I think on the aspect of High Chief Peter Maivia. I think that's what you're referring to, right?
Yes, but he was Rocky Maivia, and that didn't work. He had to call himself The Rock. He had to create his own legacy, and that worked. This is not working for him. I'm sorry. It's failing miserably. People are gonna hate him, and maybe that's what you're calling as a big heel, but it's working in a very negative fashion for me, anyways. Moving on, and now we're seeing him do something else. What are we seeing him? We're seeing him beat guys like Triple H, guys like Cena, and of course tonight, great match. His in-ring skills are absolutely great, and he's improving each and every week. But he won. Just by a fluke, because of course, just as Jericho was about to beat him, what happens? We saw Paul Heyman get up and go, "It's clobbering time," and we thought that CM Punk was about to come out. Jericho turns his back, and of course, Axel rolls him up for the 3 count. Come on, enough of this. Either he loses, or he gets at least he got the heel win this time rather than the count out. So I have to say, I guess he's making progress.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't saying too much for me in my book. I don't really know what to give him. I'd have to give him I'll give him a 3, but I wouldn't give him any much more than that.
For me, I would botch it. I would take it down to 2.5, and solely based on the fact that they're using the same old tactic we have seen way too much. We've seen it way too much, especially in TNA, and now WWE's figured, if TNA's doing it, we're gonna do it too, and well, they did it tonight. But anyway, James, up next we had Alberto Del Rio for the first time in 2 weeks, taking on someone who was not Big E Langston. It was Heath Slater of 3MB, but the matchup really never got underway, did it, James?
No, it didn't get underway because all 3 members of 3MB attacked Alberto Del Rio, and then basically Alberto Del Rio was just attacking everybody. He even got Heath Slater to tap out to the cross arm breaker, even though the match never officially started. And then at the end of that, all the attack, we had even Ricardo Rodriguez jump off the top rope to 2 members of 3MB, which was, if I remember, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. And then 3MB retreats. They were Rio and Ricardo were celebrating, but somebody made an appearance via satellite, and no, I'm not talking about The Rock. It was Dolph Ziggler. He appeared. He said, "Good job, good job." It's like, all right, I'm 100% healthy. They cleared me to compete. I'm medically complete. And I'll be at Raw this week.
One's got to wonder in what capacity will they allow Dolph Ziggler to be on Monday Night Raw. I mean, even though he's medically cleared, head injuries like that, Rick, are clear set timetable for for someone to be perfectly healthy, recovering from such a concussion, which gave him retrograde amnesia. Wouldn't you say, Rick?
Yeah, I do have to agree with you. They are probably taking, that's probably why they left him out for so long. But you know what? If they say he's medically cleared, I'm sure that for one thing, Dolph Ziggler, above all people, wants to come back. I mean, he's had that title, and I'm sure nobody else above Dolph Ziggler wants to defend it. When you have that title, you don't want to carry it. Unless if you're Devon, but but he wants. You can tell he's hungry to defend that title. He's hungry to be a fighting champion, and I think he'll be back, and I think he'll be back 100% ready to fight.
Your score for the segment, James?
The segment, I give it 2.5 out of 5.
You were not that impressed with what happened?
Well, the fact is that it's 3MB. They get beat up all the time.
Oh yeah, you do have a point there.
I mean, I give it a 3 for Dolph Ziggler being via satellite, but
what about Ricardo jumping off the top rope?
I give him that sign. 3.5 out of 5 for Ricardo Rodriguez jumping off the top rope.
Now, earlier in the night, Kane is walking backstage, obviously frustrated over the fact that he can't get Daniel Bryan to snap out of this mindset that he's the weakest link. And he runs into Ryback, and Ryback with a huge smile on his face, very happy with what he accomplished to Daniel Bryan on Monday Night Raw by driving him through a table on Raw. And Kane said, you know what, you drove COVID through a table, you drove my partner through a table, let's see if you can do it to me. Now, the first time we had Kane versus Ryback on WWE programming, it just wasn't that good. It wasn't a main event style match. It was very lackluster. I will say this, Kane and Ryback 2 really more than made up for it in my mind. It was a lot better. You know, both guys really put on a much better match. I thought it was more entertaining. And then the fact that we saw Ryback drive Kane through a table, and basically Kane wins by disqualification. But yet again, it's just Ryback rehashing the table thing. And you know what? It's something apparently that WWE fans want to see. They want to see Ryback drive people through table. They want to see him be the new Bully Ray of the WWE. Just don't give him that crazy euphoric look in his face, because I'll either have one or two things, and I'm definitely not going to mention either of them here on this review. But however, I'm going to give Kane and Ryback a 3.5 out of 5, and I distinctly remember their first encounter. I gave it a 1, or at least a 1.5, because it was that horrible. But to me, they really stepped it up on their second encounter, and I must say they did a much better job this time around. But up next, Rick, this is a segment I'm still scratching my head over. I know they're really trying to push Damien Sandow and Sheamus, apparently for an encounter possibly at Payback, the pay-per-view. And, you know, 2 weeks ago, we saw, if I remember correctly, the Gordian Knot. Then we saw the Cup game. I'm not talking about the two girls one style either. But tonight, chess with a supercomputer?
Yeah, well, you know, that's obvious that they're trying to do. I mean, when it was Mark Henry, it was a battle of the strengths, and of course now with Damien Sandow, it's a battle of the wits. So, you know, mind over matter, so to speak, excuse me. And of course that's what it was, because Damien Sandow, everybody knows that he's, you know, an intelligent person, and he feels that he can outwit, Sheamus. So Sheamus comes down. Of course, he sees the supercomputer, and you know the supercomputer. Apparently, nobody can beat this chess game, computer except for like one person, and of course, Damien Sandow says he plans on doing it, and it looks like a chess game from like an old Atari 2600. Anyways,
you know what's funny about that? You made the same remark that Sheamus made in the promo.
Well, you know, it makes sense too, because that's exactly what it looks like. Long story, incredibly short. Sheamus says, well, I can beat this in one move. And, of course, he gives the thing a brogue kick. And you figure that, you know, he gets... And you know, this really infuriates Damien Sandow. And we see Sandow attack Sheamus and throw Sheamus right into the table and just start pounding the hell out of him. And I think finally, and this is where I even tweeted it on my Facebook page, / Hardcore Wrestling Radio, plug, saying... Now things are getting interesting, because this is what we needed to see maybe two segments ago, because it didn't need to get this far. I don't think it did. I think that's where WWE really takes things out of proportion. They go not one segment, not two segments, but 3 segments before they get to this point. If they did 2, it'd been funny. But 3, okay, now it didn't have to go this far. It was enough is enough. Hopefully now, by next week, they will have a match set up for, for Payback, and that's really what I want to see. So,
your score?
Because it's happened so many times, and it had to get to this point. I guess I'll give it 2.75. I can't even give it a 3, even though it was a great fight.
James, this week has the honor of the whoop 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 Jobber alert. Jobber alert!
Jobber alert! Jobber alert! Run for your life! It's the Jobber!
Let me do it correctly, because there's a certain someone else listening. Fandango! Zack Ryder.
Hey, Zack Ryder's hometown in Long Island, isn't it?
I do believe so.
Well, we have to have him on TV. Might as well have him job to Fandango. Well, it's basically Fandango was dominating the first half, and Zack Ryder had his couple offensive moves, and then at the end he was about to go for the Rough Rider, but got hit with a powerbomb, and Fandango connected with his diving leg drop. 1, 2, 3, jobber, and Fandango. And no, I'm not talking about the place where you buy your movie tickets. Get the win. My score, I will give it, the match itself, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. I give it a 3 just for Summer Rae. That's it.
Main event on Friday Night Smackdown this week saw the tag team of Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan taking on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of The Shield. In essence, this was a great match. I love the fact that they're building up Daniel Bryan so much. The crowd is into him. They're letting him dial up intensity. I think this is more along the lines of a focus on Daniel Bryan more than anything. The finish of the match came. Daniel Bryan had it set up for his running dropkick in the corner, and he misses and connects with Randy Orton. But then Seth Rollins tries something. Daniel Bryan reverses it into the no lock, when out of nowhere, Dean Ambrose, the United States champion, comes in and starts a beatdown of Daniel Bryan, a 2-on-1 affair, and it looks like they were going to continue that, and then Daniel Bryan, whose arms were being restricted by Dean Ambrose, kicks Seth Rollins, then elbows Dean Ambrose right in the face, throwing him over the top rope, and then back body dropping Seth Rollins onto Dean Ambrose. All members of the Shield are gone, and then looked like it was going to be Daniel Bryan's going to do another suicide dive, when out of nowhere comes Randy Orton with an RKO to Daniel Bryan. Now, will they use this kind of a feud, this angle of a Orton-Daniel Bryan feud, to turn Randy Orton heel? A lot of fans out there have been wondering, when are they going to turn Randy Orton back heel? Because apparently they don't see him as a very good, solid face in the WWE. So this is a subject that could be worth further discussion here on WGS-TV. Well, we'll be sure to keep an eye on this story as it develops in the WWE. But main event, I got to go 4 out of 5. Overall score on Friday Night Smackdown this week, it's going to get a solid 3.5 out of 5. MizTV with Team Hell No and Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton and Kane, I thought it was good. Curtis Axel and Chris Jericho was indeed a very solid match. But again, we've seen the tactic over and over again, playing the guy's music, and the guy doesn't show up. It's been too repetitive. It's too repetitive. Alberto Del Rio set to take on someone other than Big E Langston for the first time in 2 weeks. I thought that was good. And props to Ricardo Rodriguez for jumping over the top rope. Kane and Ryback, again, this go around, Kane and Ryback 2, a lot better than their first encounter on Monday Night Raw. The chess match with Damien Sandow actually checkmates Sheamus of sorts. Yeah, it got better with when the action picked up. I'll agree with Rick on that. It got a lot better when the action picked up. Fandango and Zack Ryder, please. And Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan and The Shield. Like I said, could they be turning Randy Orton heel by having him feud with Daniel Bryan? You never know. You never know. But my score, Rick, is a 3.5 out of 5. What is your overall score and thoughts on Friday Night SmackDown?
Well, I have to agree with you with the overall score. It was a 3.5 out of 5. As far as the main event, you knew right from the get-go that Randy Orton didn't like Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan likes to whine. Daniel Bryan did drop kick Randy Orton in the face, and Randy Orton is a hothead by nature. So for him to, RKO him, some say he's going to be turning heel. That's definitely would be a nice, a seed for it. Because a lot of people have been rumoring that he's going to turn heel. Rumors going to turn heel. The big rumor was that he was going to turn heel on Sheamus. Maybe he's going to turn heel on Daniels. and we never even thought about that. That would definitely be a big, there's been a big rumor that Bryan Danielson's going to be getting this big push over the summer. Why not these two get the push? Why not go this way? They've obviously going a different direction. If you look at the poster, we see Payback with Randy Orton, kind of the cracked mirror. Am I reaching here? Just a reach, guys. Just a reach. Wouldn't be surprised if we see, Randy Orton and Bryan Danielson fighting at Payback. That's my call.
Let's go over to James and get his overall score and thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week.
For me, MizTV was a great segment. I don't know why Mr. Tag Team himself, Teddy Long, comes out and say, "Oh, we gotta have a tag team match." Well, we got the Chris Jericho Axel match was a great match. Kane Ryback was interesting. Let's go back to the 3MB. Why? It's 3MB. They get beat down. I just don't know why, but okay. Kane Ryback was a good match. As we all say, why we have this type of segment with Damien Sandow and Sheamus, I don't know, but I kind of understand it. At the same time, I don't. But it's at least good to see Sandow get the upper hand on Sheamus this time, attacking Sheamus. We have to have Zack Ryder get beat up in his hometown, just like anybody else who would have to have their stuff in their hometown, isn't it?
So,
I'm continuing. Well, actually, if we've kind of forgot this, but Caitlyn says she's gonna meet her secret admirer on Raw. In fact, with Dolph Ziggler returning on Raw, two together. Also, look up the old video of the Caitlyn secret admirer video we did last month in Billy's show. Hint, hint. Cheap.
Yep.
Cheap segment through that, and I enjoyed the main event, the tag team, and it was I kind of think was Daniel Orton was going to do it to Daniel Bryan because what happened with Daniel Bryan on this, what happened on Raw. So overall score, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
So what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, if they want to find me, they can always find me at my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And of course, if you ever want to listen to any of my shows, you can always find me over at Spreaker.com/HWR Media.
He is an Instagib game show guru in the form of James. James, what you got coming up?
For me and unfortunately our friend Big Area MVP, who is not here unfortunately. Or is he? We are going this coming week, right before the Payback pay-per-view, we are going to have our prediction show where you can come in, make your prediction, make your bold prop bet, what you think will happen, what surprises and all that stuff will happen. And that's going to be on VonLive.tv, either at Bay Area MVP or Fatboy504, PHATBOI504. But on the Instagib, it's going to be random times. We will be me and MVP will go live to do game shows and other gaming.
Also, don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the illuminous one, the shining star, Rick Star, and our friend James from the Big Easy, I'm the WrestleGamer Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.
Bay Area MVP known as Will here. Sorry I came late to the party, guys. SmackDown, I was spoiled. Thanks to a family member of mine, in which I will kick him in teeth later. But yes, for those who are going to be around Louisiana, GCW is known as Gulf Coast Wrestling presents the Rock in the House weekend with a very special guest, the Rock and Roll Express. And you guys can see them on Friday, June 28th at the Station Bar and Grill in Broussard, Louisiana. Also Saturday, June 29th at the Casey Hall in Plaquemine, Louisiana. And finally on Sunday, June 30th at the American Legion Hall in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more information, the number is area code 337-251-0546, or go to their website at www.gcw-golfcoastwrestling.com and try to make it out there to their shows.
Is having an addiction to NHL considered a mental illness?
How is it that you're never scared?
Who says that I'm not?
Stone Cold. Stone Cold. Stone Cold. Stone Cold. Spiritual speaking. Stone Cold. Stone Cold. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stone Cold.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spiritual speaking. Stoke Concerts.